Going in depth here on Fox Carolina News, Senator Lindsey Graham in the upstate this week, and we sat down with him for an exclusive one-on-one interview. Much of his visit was focused on immigration enforcement and local authorities working with ICE agents through a program called 287G. Our conversation started there and then to his efforts to be reelected to a 5th term in the Senate. The upstate is home to several of the state's largest Hispanic populations.
Yes.
There's concern when you have that kind of rhetoric talking about how this is the last place you want to be for undocumented immigrants. What would be your message to them? Those who hear that, see some of these videos when it comes to these ICE agents, they have some concerns.
Right. Number one, my message is this program doesn't allow local and law enforcement to arrest you based on your immigration status. That's the federal government's job. What we're talking about is when somebody is stopped and arrested for, say, for a DUI, and we find out during the arrest process that they're here illegally, that's a crime in itself. Then we're going to turn those people over to ICE. People are not going to be stopped or detained because of the way they look or the way they talk. But when local law enforcement finds somebody here illegally through the arrest process, we're not going to turn a blind eye. We're going to turn them over to ICE, and we're going to enforce our laws. The best thing for working families, for minority communities is safety. Who do you think these drug traffickers and human traffickers prey on? You know, illegal immigration is a scourge for the nation. Young girls and young women being raped during the process. We need to create legal immigration to replace illegal immigration. So I'm all with Trump here. It's time to do it.
Why do you deserve another term to the voters? Is because there's been a lot of talk about term limits, especially some of your opponents talking about saying you've been in Washington for too long.
Good question. I'm not entitled to this job. I have to earn it every 6 years, and I intend to earn it. I intend to tell my story, that I think I'm better than anybody running to represent you in Washington. I'm one of President Trump's closest friends, political ally. I was the budget chairman that got the big, beautiful bill through the Senate, through the Budget Committee. There's no better supporter of the military, I think, than Lindsey Graham. I understand how dangerous the world is, and I want to help President Trump. I think, based on my time in Washington, I understand how the system works, that I want to help mayors and county councils to get money out of Washington to help your community. That's important to me, that we get our fair share. Election's about the future, and when you look down the road, I think I'm the best bet to help President Trump in Washington, the best bet to take care of our interest. And when it comes to making us safe, I'll put my record up against anybody. I've been strong for the military, I've been strong for Israel, and with me, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get a strong conservative voice who's willing to work with the other side when it makes sense.
Is this one of those things where, 70 years old now, would you be saying this would be your last term in office? Are you making any sort of those judgment calls?
No, I'm trying to get reelected. I will not put the state at risk. If I think I physically can't do it, mentally can't do it, I've seen what happens when people stay too long. I think I'm on the top of my game. I feel good. And I played golf with President Trump. He's 79, he runs rings around me. I think I'm in a really good spot to help our state.
You had mentioned you wanted to fight to have money and dollars from Washington go into communities, fighting for communities. One of the biggest criticisms that we've heard is that you advocate for Ukraine and sending money to Ukraine too often. You've been a strong advocate, sending billions of dollars to Ukraine. We hosted a congressional debate. A lot of people concerned wanting money to stay here. They didn't like to see so much money being sent.
Well, when you learn from history, and I love history, I study it, if we could go back in time, would we have confronted Hitler sooner? Would we have stood up to him in the 30s so there would have been no World War II? Ukraine's important in this regard. Putin's not going to stop. It's in our interest that Putin not take Ukraine by force. That will entice China to take Taiwan, and you'll have a world on fire. But now President Trump is selling weapons to Europe to help Ukraine. That will be good for our economy. They needed our help, Ukraine did, when they were first invaded. All they've done is fight for their freedom like tigers. What would you do if somebody tried to take your home, your community? So I'm glad we've helped Ukraine, but now we're in a position where they can, through Europe, buy weapons from us that helps our economy to stand up to Putin. As to my foreign policy, I don't play like there's not danger that we can ignore over there and be safe here. Remember 9/11? How much did we let go? Should we have intervened earlier? Were there warning signs out there? Yeah. When it comes to Israel, there are people who say that's not our problem. It is your problem. The people that want to destroy Israel want to kill you. They're religious Nazis. They're religious fanatics. They would give you one choice in terms of worshiping God, and that's the radical Islamic view of it. They would come here if they could get here. So as long as I'm senator, we're going to deal with problems over there so they don't come here. I think President Trump is going to end this war in Russia and Ukraine, just because peace through strength is the foundation of America first.
And you're ready to see it ended?
I am long since. I've been to Ukraine several times. They've suffered. Again, what would you do if somebody from another country came and tried to destroy your life? You'd fight back.
But some of your opponents would criticize all those trips to Ukraine.
That's good. Criticize away. They're the same ones who said we should have gotten out of Afghanistan. I don't live in a dream world. I live in the real world. I understand what Putin would do if he could. Putting your head in the sand is not foreign policy. Putin won't stop at Ukraine.
You said recently, over the weekend, that the tariffs would crush Putin's customers.
Yeah.
That's kind of the key of them.
Yeah.
A lot of people here at home are feeling the effects of some of these tariffs when it comes to prices. There's concern with BMW, local business
Yep.
here in South Carolina. What would be your message to them who see this, saying, what is the end goal with these tariffs, and are we going to get relief?
Right. The end goal of tariffs is to be treated fairly as a nation. For years, we've been taken advantage of.
You talked a lot about foreign policy, talked about the security there in D.C., but people here in South Carolina, they may be concerned that you've forgotten about the people here in the state.
I'll put my record of helping this state up against anybody in Congress. The Port of Charleston's the economic engine of our state. It is the anchor tenant. It is worth billions of dollars to our economy. They were not deep enough to be competitive. I, along with others, but I took the lead to deepen that port. Ask people around, the mayor of Campobello, you know, we're helping him with his sewer system. Pacolet. I got a photo with a car that we got for the Pacolet Police Department. I understand where I come from, and one of my goals is to be like Senator Thurmond. To help you if you need Social Security, we'll try to help you. We're going to work hard on your behalf. We may not always get the answer you want, but we'll be in your camp trying. And when it comes to state and local government, ask the governor at the Silver Elephant Club. He said, if all the people in South Carolina, Lindsey's the guy I go to get something done in Washington. Now, I appreciate that. That is important to me, that I take care of my local community, that I get out of the way, but I take care of them, that I help people who need Social Security, that have a problem with the VA. That's important to me. I am proud of my staff. I think we've got the best team on the ground since Senator Thurmond.